I can hear you too, loud and clear.
You can use it, it's really deep.
Radio check, 1, 2, radio check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey RCT, welcome back. We are going to officially review our Motorola Astro Spectra. Received a few requests to make a video on the radio that I use in other videos. I think on the Nextel field test, I actually used the Astro Spectra as a cheating way, and I think it's time to officially just post a video on the radio. I did install, make a video of the installation because I didn't find any videos of the Astro Spectra into a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I used to have a Motorola Spectra, not Astro Spectra, but a Motorola Spectra in my 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. That was 20 plus years ago, if not, give or take. So I posted the video of installing the radio directly to the battery, which is located underneath the passenger seat. That was a challenge because, it essentially was easier because I didn't have to go through the console to the battery underneath the hood. So that essentially made it easier, I guess. But it was challenging because there were several parts that I tried to connect it that didn't work as far as grounding it or giving it enough power when I key up. The Astro Spectra is a 40 watt radio. This is what the control, I don't know what you guys call it, the control head, the remote control. So this is what it looks like. I decided to go with this one specifically because I was not ready to drill into the Jeep. This is still barely, new, still fresh. It's a 2020, so it's 4 years old now. And if you just kind of look at the dash, there's really not a good place to put the speaker mic. The old traditional police-looking one, the big old giant off-white looking one. I mean, I could have done it here, but, again, I'm just not sure if I wanted to, I guess, point in a different direction. That you can see it's not really flat here, or it's not really flat here. Obviously, I was going to do on top there. So I figured the best way to do this is have this. And I actually used to have it down here just hanging out until I came across this Uniden cup holder that holds your scanner. And I actually decided just to force it in here, and it works. So that pretty much is my holder now for that. It works pretty well. I can, move it around if I want to, and let the passenger control it if I want to. I can move it closer to me if I want to, further, up, higher, low. So it's pretty cool. It's I think it was like $25 if anything on Amazon. Sorry, I can't really get a good shot for you. But it's been my go-to since then. On road trips, we obviously take it off because we need more cup holders, and this just kind of sits down here, like I said before. Oh, sorry, hopefully you can still hear me. So it goes down here, just hangs out, not a problem. You can still hear because the speaker is actually underneath the seat. This does not have a speaker itself. It's just the control, which you can actually, let me see if I can get closer to show you what it can do. All right, let me move this out of the way. All right, so get that in there, and let's see if you can see. Can you see that there? So this is up and down, right? You have your volume here, your zones. You can swap the zones here. Program as many channel zones as you want. I think I only have a few here, including DPS or AMR, and then back to my regular channels. Let's see, you can mute everything if you want. That way you don't keep hearing the annoying beeps. See, there you go. Now you can just hang out, no beeps. Select your channel. You can do it this way if you like. You can call, delete, nuisance. If you're scanning, you can delete the channels you don't want to hear. You can go from direct or repeater. Okay. What else can you do? Page, program view. Just a few things I left in there. Message, status, power. If I want to go from high power to low power, you can do that. Not sure what else is in here. And then key set. And then as far as the controls here, I do have these two on the side here. Focus, come on. There we go. This top one is for the light. You can't really see that now since it is daytime. It is 108 degrees right now. Here out in Mesa, we're here at the Mesa Riverview. I thought this would be a good place for us to test the radios. Nowhere too far, but something close enough where we can guarantee hearing each other. Last time we tried to test the radios in the busy town, it wasn't working very well. And I think we'll go to that in a minute, but I'll tell you about how well these Spectras work and the better days that we have. So, anyways, here this is going to be your light. This is going to be for your what is this called? Your scan. This is for your PL off and on. That way, if you want to hear others, you turn your monitor on, meaning you can hear everyone and everything. And in fact, you can go to your analog channels and see what you can hear locally. You can go to your digital channels. You can go to your DPS channels and see what's open. For DPS, it's best to have your PL on. That way you only hear specifically what those channels are saying. Otherwise, if you have your PL off, you're going to hear everything on that frequency. So, what else do we have here? I do have a few cheap buttons here. This one's my low and high power. If we're convoying, there's no need for high power. I've noticed sometimes if you have high power very closely, it doesn't sound very well. Maybe it's just too much power from car to car. So, on and off here. And then, of course, this is your speaker mic, your PTT is right here. This is the power one right here. It turns it off and on. Cool thing about this is that you can have it off, and as soon as you get in the car, you can actually just hit the PTT, your push to talk, and it'll actually turn it on. There it is. Error 0910. That is because we enabled the secure equipment in order for you to have some sort of a PTT sound or a talk permit sound. These only have the traditional, I don't know what you call it, Motorola talk permit tone while there's trunking. That's what the little beep 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 sound is. That is for the delay and confirmation that you have secured a frequency when you're trunking. Otherwise, you don't get that cool talk permit tone sound on these older radios. I think the XTS3000s and above do have that hack when you do the DVRS. Other than that, you have to enable your secure equipment, and it gives you that beep, and then you know you're ready to talk. So that's just one little hack you can actually put on just to have something to let you know you're on error or that you push the button correctly. All right, so let's look at the console or the box. Again, feel free to judge me or don't judge me. I actually did put it underneath the seat. Let's take a look at it. All right, let me zoom out so you can see. So I actually put it underneath the seat here. It came with an extended cable, cord, whatever you want to call it, because the box is technically supposed to be underneath or in the trunk. I don't know if you can still see. There it is, right there. Okay, that is supposed to be technically in the trunk. I decided to put it here, like I said, because I can run the cables or the power wires directly to the battery underneath the seat. I do leave the speaker right here. It's right underneath me. I can hear it. At some point, I may have to secure it somewhere else. I thought about putting it right here, but then my knee does hit it. I do like to sit with you know, my legs pretty comfortable, and this might be getting in the way. So it's here for now, unless someone has any other ideas or ways to mount it. I just don't know again where else I can put it, because this is as everyone calls it, a mom car. There's not a lot of room to fasten, secure, tie, screw things in like we did back in the days with the older vehicles. I know my 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee, it was very awesome. I used to have the Motorola Spectra right here in the middle, and I mounted the speaker mic just right here. And that looked pretty cool. It worked very well. And the speaker, I think I did have it right to the side, and I was able to hear it perfectly well. So in this case, again, this is a 2020. They don't really leave you much room with adding accessories. We all used to put in receiver radios in these, and now we really don't. So see what it looks like underneath here if you can. Let's see. So this is how I have it. Excuse me. I know I probably should have these more secure than they are now. But that's what it looks like underneath right there. Let's see if we turn the light on. Okay, that's what it looks like. You have your power, your remote, the speaker and remote to the control head, and then your antenna that runs all the way underneath here. Whoops, there's my can. Through the back and out to the top. Again, I know there's probably a better way to do that. But anyways, this is how it goes to the power. Again, the battery is right underneath there. I did actually take off the panel to ground it, and then the two red ones, the power for your control and your new unit, is directly to the positive in the battery. So it's been working very, very well that way. Haven't had any issues. The only issue I did have was that I don't know what you would call it, the connector actually melted or burnt the pin. It caused a lot of issues where it wasn't very secure. Sorry, I got to turn this up if you can still hear me. It's really hot out here. 108 out right now. So, and I'm going to close this too now because it is just burning up. All right, so let's test out the radio. This is a UHF, I think it's a 450, 520. I think it is because the lowest ham band I can go is 446. It does cause or give you an error when you are trying to program it in your CPS. This does use a different CPS than the Astro, what do they call it, portable for the XTS3000 and Astro Saber. It is a different CPS, literally similar, same layout, same programming style. One just does the Astro Spectra, one does the Astro Saber and XTS3000. So, but again, when I programmed this, I put as much as I could in here. I think for this one, I just did my local public safety and a few talk arounds. Obviously, your FRS and GMRS, you can listen to those. And a few other business bands, just again, mainly for listening. It is a P25 Astro Spectra. Does mean your analog and digital. Digital is P25. And hold on, let me check to make sure the microphone's still plugged in. Hold on. All right, we're still plugged in. I think we're still good. Let me check on this because last time it died on me and I didn't know. Yeah, so P25 digital. The analog works very, very well as the P25. I do have MDC, which is Motorola data communicator. That's the little bleep at the very end. The cop sounding noise after you transmit, or you can do leading or trailing. Leading means it does it first. Trailing means it does it after on MDC. Some people like it trailing and leading, which is kind of annoying because you get a bleep at the beginning, a bleep at the end. I'd rather just do the bleep at the end to let that person know you're done talking, like we used to say over during the CB radio days. So Astro, unfortunately, does not have any sort of confirmation at the end because the reason why MDC was designed was to transmit digital information between radios. You can let dispatch know who's using the radio, who keyed up, who's done talking. It was a way to send your ID signal. It was a way for you to page other radios with MDC. Once they rolled out Astro, which is Motorola's digital version, the P25, all of that is done entirely while talking and transmitting. For example, let's see if it shows up the ID while talking on Astro, and you'll see that it's on the entire time, and on MDC it's not. So Astro is digital, and it has information being transmitted the entire time, and analog is being transmitted, you know, before or after or during the time that you are making it transmit that information. So we're gonna now test out the radios just to see what it sounds like. Maybe we'll see how far it does go. It is 40 watts again, so it does a pretty good job going pretty far. I think I once, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I hit 40 miles or just a little under 40 miles. I think I was in Buckeye, and the other radio was in Mesa, right next to Salt River, so Mesa, probably off the 202 in Power, and that's about 40 miles, give or take. And I think I was on the bridge from the 303 to the 10 in Buckeye or Litchfield, or, you know, it's in that Litchfield, Goodyear, Buckeye area, and I was able to transmit on that bridge, and it received over here in Mesa. So that's a pretty good 40 miles. Imagine if there is a repeater that you can tap into. I know we have one up in South Mountain via GMRS Club. But that tells you how good that is already. It's still running pretty powerful. And, you know, at some point I may get a repeater and install it with GMRS. I just know there's several rounds, so there's really no need for me to do that. So I haven't really tested it with repeaters just yet. So far it's been Simplex, and it's been doing very well. So, all right, so the other radio is going to stay here in this area here. We are next to whatever this building is, and next to the movie theater. I think it's the cinema. And I'm going to just kind of drive around and see how far I can go and what I can hear and what it sounds like mainly, if anything. So I'm also going to set up my scanner here just because, let's see, just because I do like to use the audio from the scanner just to not have just entirely, actually, you know what, let me stand by one second. All right, we're back. Sorry, I set up the scanner here again. As I was saying, I'd rather record from the scanner than the microphone. The clip is on my shirt right now, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the audio very well, so I'd just rather you hear it from the scanner. But again, it is underneath the seat. Let's see if I can flip it over. It is right here. Hopefully you can hear it. And just to kind of add a little bit more information to this, I was able to hook up the XTS3000s to the Spectra as well, because they're both Astro. As long as they're same frequency, same NAT code, or same PL, DPL, they'll work very well. So check that out. All right, let's go find a spot to talk. I don't know where she went. She decided to leave. That's fine. Let's go see if we can go. You know, obviously with 40 watts, you're going to get a pretty good distance. So I'm going to try to go as far as I can. Somewhere where you know, like I said
Can I
before.
just drive around the parking lot?
Okay, well, I can't answer because I have one hand on my phone and the other on the steering wheel, so I can't really answer that. Going across the street to the river or to the pond, whatever. Alright, let's keep making our way back here. One thing you can do with the Spectra, I guess I'll tell you this now when we're driving around. I have in the past programmed, well, I do have programmed FRS P25, GMRS P25. I've driven around town with the PL, DPL button off, the PL defeat. And what it does is essentially kind of puts in the Q, the CSQ. CSQ, if you're programming it, if you're familiar with that, it means anything that comes through the radio, you're going to hear it. And in this case, with P25, I've actually heard a few on FRS, GMRS, P25. I can't tell you which one it was, if it was FRS or GMRS, but I've heard a few people talk on those before. Just by taking off the PL on the radio, I was able to hear more traffic. So in order to hear them, I don't know if it requires the same NAC. NAC is Network Access Code. It's similar to a PL, DPL. Again, if you're familiar with programming, for NAC, there's like thousands of possible codes. So, anyways, this looks like a pretty good spot where we can park and see what it sounds like. All right, let me find a spot and see what it sounds like. We're way out here. All right, so we are here, and I think she is over here somewhere, right there. Let's see. Here we are. So we are here, facing that way. Here's at Sloan Park. I drove here. See, this is whatever this pond is here is what we just drove by. And then she is down here. Or did it come off of... There we are. So she is over here next to Passpro Drive. So she's right here. So that looks like it's about 1.3 miles away. Not very impressive. Obviously, it's gonna sound well. It's gonna do well. So let me see if I can go further down the street in a few minutes. All right. So this is going to be P25. Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go over to... can you go to green 4?
Copy that.
So you go home, go to zone 1, and then green 4. I turned the PL off to see if I hear anything.
Radio check here.
Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Copy, thanks. Stand by. All right, let's see if I can page with this as well. You should be able to do the same thing because this is using MDC. Let's try this one. There we go. But I don't know which one that made it to. What radio did it beep on?
The car 1.
Awesome. Okay. So that worked. Cool. So that is set up,
Yep,
obviously correct. All right, stand by. I'm going to try to get a little further for us now.
Copy that.
All right, let's go see where else we can go. A little further down the road if we can. Like I said, it's 40 watts. We're obviously going to get a good distance. How far, I really don't know. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that your distance on the radios really depends on the obstructions, like I said before, you and between the other radio and what's going to obstruct it. And of course, as well as the weather. The weather plays a very big role in the distance. I've noticed that sometimes when it's cloudier, we get to, it's a little further. There's something I used to consider is called DXing, something where your signals are bouncing off the clouds or the atmosphere, the ionosphere, whatever they call it, and that actually makes your radio go a little further or receive further. In this case, with UHF, it's not very likely. I've noticed it does work better on cloudier days or rainier days because, again, maybe it does hit the clouds and bounces around a little bit more. So then again, I don't know. It's one of those things where I haven't really confirmed, but I just do know that when it's cloudier, it does go a little further. All right, right here. Looks like a nice spot. All right. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So we're gonna have to see where we are at. So right next to Tempe Marketplace. So between Tempe Marketplace and the baseball park, and she is over here somewhere at this spot right there. So that is about 1.8 miles. Again, not impressive, but gives you an idea of how well, how clear, how strong it is doing. So you can't really say, the 40 watts isn't working. So maybe we'll go over to the Tempe Marketplace in a few minutes and see what it sounds like. Let's switch over to P25. Can we go back to Orange 4?
Okay, copy that. Stand by.
Okay, and back to Orange 4. Let's see if I can get that. There we are. You can kind of see it illuminating now.
Hello. Check 1 2.
Sorry, I'm trying to do this one hand. Check. Yes, can you hear me? 1 2 1 2.
Yes, I can hear you.
Copy, thanks. Anyways, sounds pretty good. Let's go back to, I guess it didn't work, so. Check 1 2, just seeing if it still works. I guess the page didn't work, did it?
That's a negative.
All right, I'm going to go down to Tempe Marketplace. It looks like it's just one block over.
Copy that.
All right, let's go and see what we can get over there. So this might be a problem then. I'm kind of seeing that this is over a hill. And if we're over there below, we may be having to transmit through the hill and the buildings here. But let's try it out, see what it sounds like. If not, we'll come back a little closer to see if we can get a connection. Let's find a spot and see what it sounds like, at least from here first. Antennas towards the back of the car. Let's jump on and test this out. Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Radio check.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Does it sound pretty clear, pretty good?
Yeah, can hear you pretty good.
All right. Zoom out. Nope, didn't want to zoom out. All right, let's go over to green 4.
Copy that.
Green 4 is our analog. Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear. Were you trying to talk to me a few minutes ago or a few seconds ago?
No, that's a negative.
I did see it blinking red, so maybe that was someone else. So here I actually turned off. See, God dang, this thing is just so annoying. Right there, you can see the little speaker turn on. So your monitor on, meaning your PL is off. You can hear everything without a PL or DPL. And in this case, um, this is me opening up the channel so I can hear if there's anyone else talking on this channel. And then here you can also hit your scan. Scan all the channels within this scan list, which is 1 through 16 or 2 through 16. You don't have to put 1 on scan because you can make 1 your primary channel, and then you can scan channels 2 through 16. See, just like that. So I picked up something else on green 5. All right, let's take that off. And let's do one more check. Let's go down there and then see what we can hear. All right, I'm going to go a little further out now. I'm next to the new apartments, the Cameron, so I'm going to go a little bit more into the Tempe marketplace.
Okay, sounds good. Copy that.
All right, so this did drop us a little bit in elevation, so I'm hoping that doesn't cause a big issue where we can't hear them or they hear us. Again, UHF is very big on line of sight. The more line of sight, the stronger the signal. And, without that, at least, you're going to have a lot of broken connections or communication work. So, anyways, we're here finally at Tempe Marketplace. And we are going to key up and see if she can hear us on this one. All right, here we go. Check, check, radio check, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Hey, RCT. Apologies. Looks like I have to redo this portion of the video. Appears my microphone stopped working, and I concluded and finished the video. Had no clue. Went home to start putting the video together, and I found out there's no audio. That's the unfortunate part about making these YouTube videos, is that if you don't check your recordings or your photos or videos before you leave, you are screwed. So anyways, we're here back at the, what do they call this place? Tempe Marketplace. This was supposed to be the last place for us to do a radio check to see how far the radio goes. The video was technically not supposed to be how far it goes, but just to kind of give us some added content on the distance that you could get with the Motorola Astro Spectra using P25 or analog. So far, it's been doing pretty well. I think it's an awesome radio to have if you're within the city. You're going to be able to talk to each other. I don't think you're going to be able to get the same distance with these handhelds, since these are 1 to 4 watts UHF, and the Astro Spectra is about 40 watts. So 40 watts can really push a little bit further out. So hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry, I turned down the AC. Today is 111. When we first started recording the other day, it was 108, 107. Today it wants to be a little hotter, so I'm going to probably speed this up and end the video. So anyways, we're going to be on P25 right now, Tempe Marketplace. She is still at the Mesa Riverview Cinemax Theater, whatever you want to call it. So let's just see what it sounds like from here. Check, check, radio check. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Awesome. I'm talking to you from the Tempe Marketplace. Can we head over to green 4?
Copy that.
All right, going to green 4. Okay, I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear me. All right, so we are on green 4. This is our analog channel. Whoa, what was that? That was something up there. Check, check, 1, 2. Can you hear me on green 4?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
How does it sound from here to there?
It sounds not bad. It's good.
Awesome. All right, let me go a little bit further down and see if it works still. I'm next to Nordstrom's rack, so I'm going to see if I can go a little bit further down.
Copy that.
Go ahead and stay on green 4, and then we'll go to P25 after.
Okay, copy that.
All right, let's head over there. All right, team, we're here at a new spot. The furthest I can go in the parking lot at the Tempe Marketplace. We're next to, I think that's Old Navy and Five Below. So it looks like we are currently, currently at the furthest point, and she is down over here at this spot. I think right here. So it's about 2.7 miles away, just shy of 3 miles. Again, your handheld will not. I don't think your handheld will get that far in distance, let alone a mile or two in the city. As I've said before, in order for your radio to get to the other radio, it has to get through the buildings and the cars and obstruction, the trees. I mean, everything in between myself and the other radio is obstruction that's going to slow down that power that we are essentially putting out. So that's why they say the more power, the better. The higher the antenna, the better. Once you get to your radio like this, or your FRS radio, or your GMRS radio, or your business band radio, it has to have enough power clearance to get to that other radio. Generally, why a lot of businesses, they use some sort of a repeater. Even if it's a 20-watt repeater, it being higher in elevation is going to make a bigger difference. For example, I don't know if they have security here or maintenance, but generally if there is security or maintenance, they would have some sort of a radio, whether it's a CP200 or one of the XPR series, or I know they have the XPR 3500s now that are a little bit easier to connect and use and carry, which is a little bit more convenient. Putting up a repeater in the middle of this shopping center will allow your radio to connect to that repeater and then hit the other radios around the area. So anyways, all right, let's see what it sounds like right here. Check, check, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, sounds good. It's about 2.7 miles away from where you're at. Let's switch over to P25. Orange 4.
Copy that.
All right.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you too, loud and clear.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I have my handheld, so I want to turn up the handheld to see what it sounds like, so stand by.
Copy that.
Let's turn down the volume for this one. I don't think this is going to reach that side, but let's find out. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2, check, 1, 2.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. That is actually very impressive. I'm using a 3000. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I actually can. It's really clear.
Wow. I'm actually very impressed. I'm actually very impressed that it's actually going through. Did you hear me that time or not that time?
Yeah, I heard you that time, loud and clear.
Very impressed. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I stand corrected. The 3000 Actually made it 2.7 miles away. Like I said, it's really just a hit or miss. In this case, I will credit more the 3000 than I have before. I recently, like I said before, I'm pretty sure I mentioned I made a video of someone dissing a 3000 and saying why not just get a Baofeng. That's probably why I would not get a Baofeng. I mean, I'm not saying Baofengs are bad in any way, but this proves alone that a Baofeng may not get this distance. So 2.7 miles. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to make another video of me trying to use a Baofeng 2.7 miles away from this spot to that spot. So stand by for the next video. What I'll do is I'll do a Baofeng to Baofeng test and then a 3000 and 3000 test in the same distance we are now. So, all right, team, that's all I have. I hope this really gives you some information on the Motorola Astro Spectra. Let me know if you have an Astro Spectra or P25. I know XTL and APX are still running P25. I think those are phase 2. I don't know if they'll work with phase 1. This is a phase 1 radio. So I don't know if phase 2 will work with the phase 1. We'll have to learn and test that out. Other than that, I appreciate it. So let me get us a radio check over now. Can you still hear me? Check, check, 1, 2.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, we're done with the video. Can you give me a radio check over and out?
Radio check, over and out.
All right, team. Have a good one. Over and out.
To the 964 northbound 051 at Bell. Per the GPS, it's going to be in the gore point for the Bell off-ramp northbound, and the involved is stating he possibly has a broken arm, which I'm starting to expire for at 21 hours.